Hey there, I am MWilson, and I want to introduce a couple of assessment tools for the classroom that I actually found really interesting this week. The first one is Edpuzzle. If you're looking for a great review tool, I love this. I had never used it before. It's actually videos that are already made. You can create your own if you want and add questions, but there's a library of resources that you can find. A video is already embedded with questions. So the video plays for a little bit, and a question is input to gauge the student's understanding. And if they get it right, they can continue with the video. If they do not answer the question correctly, they can actually just watch that segment of the video again in case they missed something, and then it'll ask them that same question. I think this is great to gauge students' progress. It's good for reviews. And again, like I said, they've got a library of content that you can use. It would be great for entrance and exit slips and to get a snapshot of how students are doing. And students, I think, would benefit greatly using it as reviews. And I'm going to show you a little bit about how to access and what it looks like. Okay, so this gives you a brief overview of Edpuzzle. Once you're in and put in subjects and content that you like, then you actually have a community created. But just to show you how a video works, my subjects, if I were to put in computer science, I could pull up different options here. And let's see. Okay, so you can choose, go through, there's lots of different ones you can choose from, or you can create your own. But let's say I choose this one. I just want you to be able to see, honestly, the different options. So here's different videos that are made. It tells you how many questions that they have on here. I'm going to go ahead and just preview this one since it's up. Once the video plays, you can see where the questions are here on the side. Down here, where these dots are where the questions are. So I'm going to fast forward to get there. And then once the question is asked, it pauses, and it shows up over here. What is the name of the technology that tries to predict the type of results or media you will interact with? Okay, so I got it right. I can continue. Okay. If I got it wrong, then you're actually able to rewatch that. So I'm going to fast forward so you can actually see. Okay, so this is another question. Do you think colleagues and employers should check your social media feeds? I'm going to say no. That's wrong. So at that time, I could rewatch, and it goes back to the previous segment. So that's an example of it. The next thing I want to show you that I used this week is Poll Everywhere. I actually had used it once before in class, and I used it once and had issues with first block, and then kind of worked out the kinks with second block. But this week I used it actually right after I used Edpuzzle in class just to see how the kids would like it. And you can see in the middle of this, I asked them in one word, what did you think about the Edpuzzle activity? Was it helpful? Will it be a good review for test? And just to kind of get an idea of what their initial thoughts were, we created a word cloud. But Poll Everywhere is a really quick and easy. It just gives you a snapshot of understanding or just thoughts in general of the students. It's anonymous, so it's great for those students who are really shy and do not speak out in class. It gives them a voice that they otherwise would not have. This is really good, I think, to use as either a bell ringer, entrance kind of reviewing from yesterday's work, what do they remember, do they have any questions, or as an exit slip, is there anything that they did not grasp in class, or do they have a question about it? It's also good for brainstorming, I think, if you wanted to get some ideas on topics to cover, or maybe some things to debate in class. So I'm going to show you a little bit about how it works, or what it looks like online, and how it works. It's really simple. Okay, so this is what Poll Everywhere looks like when you open up your profile or create a profile and open it up. Here is where you can actually add an activity, And here are recent activities. You can see I've been playing around with it, getting feedback. I did ask them about Edpuzzle, asked them how much they prepared for a test. But to add an activity, you would just click here. You have the option to do multiple choice, word cloud, question and answer. And let's just say you wanted to do a word cloud, which is what I did about asking them about Edpuzzle. You could just ask a question. What are you looking forward to this weekend? And this actually could just encourage collaboration or conversation in the classroom. And then once you're done, of course, you can add more, but you can create. Once you create, it shows up, and you can actually share this link with your children. If you want to present it on the board, you could hit present, and all the responses would be showing up on the board so people could see what others are saying. So it's pretty neat. The kids get excited seeing people's responses. Okay, so recap. Why Edpuzzle and Poll Everywhere? One, students can review at their own pace. Students have a choice of where and when they want to review and use the resources. It's engaging, it entices participation, and it does give a snapshot of students' understanding before moving on to something new or different. So teachers are actually able to see, are students struggling in one particular area where they need to actually, reteach a certain segment, or are there just a few students who need some, additional reinforcement to go over before they, move on to another unit. And it's easy and free, which is always great. So hopefully this will help you and entice you to take a look at it. I'm looking forward to looking at some other resources we went over also.